Hey folks, another quick BatRep. This is that defense line scenario, part of our campaign, 4th battle. Just finished the first turn, and let me give you a quick rundown what's going on. Well, anyway, I did choose to pick this table edge. If you remember from my previous video, I was asking everybody, which table edge should I take? So I took this one. I did get some barricades, 10 inches of barricades, which I'm representing with these old truck ruins. This up here and that up there on the road. So I put some barricades around on the opposite side of the river, forcing him to cross. Counts as dangerous terrain, so makes it even harder for him. I put my Stug down here, and he was on ambush fire during deployment. I had a squad up here of veterans. It was an MG element of the Panzer Grenadier squad, actually, which now is back here to pick up these two objectives, one here and one here. So they had to move back from the barricades. I got another MG team up here, which isn't an elite squad. They're holding their position there, watching that open ground for the enemy. I've got a foot patrol recon element in here. They have mortar spotting capability, so I wanted to get him close to the front as possible. They took some fire, and I believe they were pinned. Yeah, they were pinned at the end of the first turn. I got Panzer Grenadier squad up in here. They had to move into the building, unfortunately. So they weren't in the building. They did a move and fire. They managed to use their Panzerfaust on that Recce M5 moving up on the flank and managed to immobilize it, and it went on to pass its morale test. So this is an immobilized M5 over here that I got to deal with. And yeah, I did use my Panzerfaust to do that. So he does have a Sherman coming up over there, but I figure as long as that Panzerfaust's there, he's not coming, so why waste it? I don't know. Down here I got a roadblock, or not a roadblock, with barricades. I've got an elite squad in there. They lost a man who happened to have been carrying a Panzerfaust, and he was taken out by a sniper, which is located up here. Yeah, he sniped him, and the American got to pick the model that was removed, and that was the Panzerfaust. So they're out of Panzerfaust. They were pinned, but I managed to rally them at the end of my turn. Took a battle rating counter for that. Anyway, in the Americans' turn, they managed to pin this unit. They also pinned this unit in here. And they also pinned my Stug, which, as you can see now, are no longer pinned. I did some rallying. But yeah, when they did do that, they advanced out their infantry that were hiding in that woods. So here comes an elite squad of American armored infantry, supported by their Recce M5, which is now immobilized. They have an M20 down there, Recce unit, which put down some machine gun fire on these guys up here, pinning them. And the sniper took out the guy with the Panzerfaust. So, and this bridge is an objective. Nobody has captured it yet. There's 3 objectives. One here. This burned out bunker. That's the second objective. And this stockpile of ammo back here. You see that. Those are the 3 objectives, and I have 2 of them so far. So that's what's going on. I got reinforcements coming on turn 5, which will be in the form of my half-tracks, my forward headquarters and their half-track, and my Panzer IV. It's not much of a reinforcement, but it's something. The Americans, they have, let's see, they got a Jeep and an M20 down there. Their FHQ was right there behind that hill by the tape measure. They brought in one of their Sherman M4s, a 75. They got an elite squad of armored infantry moving up here. And they do have a bazooka and a bar. The Recce M5, which is now mobilized. And an M20 back here, and a sniper. That's what they have on the board. So, yep, they put a lot of pressure up here going for this bridge. So I know that's what they're doing. They're going to try and grab that bridge. And right now I don't have anything holding it except for that 4-man squad. And if you don't know the BattleGroup Overlord rules, the German squads are broken up into 2 separate units. There's the 5-man unit of, well, it's called a rifle team, rifle section. And it includes an MG, which I got. And the other part of it is a 3-man MG42 team, which I believe is right here. Or not in there, it's up in here. Somewhere. Actually, this is it up here. That's the rest of that squad. So they operate in the game as 2 separate units, but it is technically the squad. And that's all I have up here holding the objective up here. So, we'll see what happens. That's the end of turn 1. I took 1 battle rate encounter and he took 3. He did manage to outscout me. Yeah, so that's it, folks. Okay, we'll see what goes on next in turn 2. Oh, and incidentally, he gets his reinforcements in turn 3. I get mine in turn 5. So that gives you an idea. And I believe he has a couple more Shermans, an MG team, which is a 30 cal, a couple half-tracks, including, yeah, that's about it. Okay, folks. Talk to you soon. Turn 2 coming up. Just finished turn 2. Let's see what happened. Well, incidentally, you might notice that some of the terrain looks different. I had a few days between turn 1 and turn 2, so I kind of took advantage of that. Finished up my trees, did some work on the roads, as you can see. Made it look better. Added texture to it, basically. In the fields, you can see over here. Looks pretty good. Put little lines in it and add some foliage. Add some clumps of straw there to the hayfield. Did the felt as well that we used to represent the forests. You can see we added some texture in here with the greens and the browns, and we added some paint to it to darken it up. So it looks more natural. It looks more like an actual forest. So yeah. So I spent some time doing that. Anyway, back to the game. Well, seems the Americans are making a push up here up the road. I think they're definitely going to go for that objective on the bridge there. They opened up with their M20 down here. Their sniper opened up, didn't do anything. They did advance their infantry here, up closer to the hedge line, and put down some nasty fire on these guys, killing 3 of them. So there's only 1 guy left here. Remember, these guys are elite. They passed their morale, so they're holding out. I'm pretty happy with that. He's still immobilized. Hasn't done anything. They fired on these infantry and managed to pin them. So they have an MG42 in here. There's a 3-guy machine gun team. So they managed to pin these infantry, unfortunately, after my guys were devastated, as you can see. He didn't do nothing down here. He still got his Jeep and his M20, his FHQ. He exchanged some fire with my Stug up there behind the barricade. Neither one did anything. I got my Stug on an ambush. I got these guys on ambush. These guys did basically nothing. I think I rolled a 3 for orders, so that sucked. I think he got 4, so he didn't do much either. But yeah, that's where we're at, folks. We're going into turn 3. I hold all 3 objectives. Oh, and I should also mention that this objective on the bridge, we made a mistake. I was actually within distance to capture this, and I didn't for whatever reason. These guys did actually do something in that turn, but didn't claim the victory, or the objective. So we claimed it now during turn 2, so I got it now. So that's all cleared up. So there you go, folks. That's the look of my defensive line. I got a Stug. I got a 3-man machine gun team in there, regulars. I got 3 guys back there that are elites. MG42 team. And here's the rest of their squad over here. 1 guy. And next turn he does get his reinforcements, which will be his half-tracks, his FHQ, his 30 cal, and I believe his 76 Sherman, which is veteran, and his 75 Sherman. I don't get mine until turn 5, so it's going to be interesting, folks. Okay, folks, we're going into turn 3. See, we just finished turn 3, and it was pretty interesting. Well, the Americans started it off. They brought in their reserve, which amounted to their FHQ, which are mounted in this half-track. They got as far as that on the table. He brought in an M4 75mm, which was carrying an MG team, a 30 cal team. And he also brought in his 76 Sherman, which is way over there. Zoom in on that guy. There he is. He's up there on the other side of the hill. You could see him right there. So he brought him in. He hasn't moved either. And the reason why there wasn't much moving was because he rolled a 3 for his orders. Well, actually, he rolled a 1, and adding +2, he got a 3. So that wasn't very good. But anyway, what he did manage to do is he had his sniper here, took a shot, opened fire on this position up here with the Germans. Both shots were saved by the hard cover of the Germans, so he lucked out. I believe the next thing he did is he moved up this M5 or M4 Sherman that was originally down here, up this way, with a disembark move. And he unloaded the 30 cal team, which is now over here behind this tree. But he wanted to move up to here, so he got about this far. And my Stug, way over there on the other side of the river, did manage to spot him. And he was on ambush. So all the way from over there, he took a chance. He opened fire with an AP round on that Sherman. And he also fired on the other Sherman, which is down here. Unfortunately, his shot up here failed to see that tank, so he didn't even take the shot. But his second shot was on this tank here. He shot, he hit, but this tank managed to save, so that was that. So I wasted another AP round. And I might as well tell you that my Stug has absolutely no AP rounds remaining, and I have no supply units. So he's got like 2 rounds of high explosive remaining. That's it. So I'm screwed with my Stug. Anyway, what else did he do? Yeah, this 30 cal team disembarked over here, and then they eventually moved up to this position and opened fire on my squad that was in that barn, and didn't do anything. They tried to pin him, I believe. Failed. My turn was next. I rolled 5 for orders, +1 for my FHQ, senior officer, and I got 6 orders, and I think I got them all off. I was pretty much ineffective. He had some guys on ambush for 1, and that hurt me. But anyway, one of the first things I did is I tried to call down some artillery support with my mortars, my 80mm mortars, medium mortars, with this scout unit up here that has mortar spotter ability. I want to kind of aim down in this area. It was kind of risky because my troops are close by, but I decided to go for it. Why not, right? So we spent an order to call him in. Unfortunately, I failed the communications test, so no artillery. And I believe I followed that up. I put my Stug on ambush just to keep him thinking. I didn't fire any more rounds because I don't have any more AP, so I want to kind of hold off. I don't want him to know that. Hopefully he'll keep his Shermans held back still, but we'll see. Oh yeah, these guys in the barn with an MG42, 3 of them, they were going to open fire up on these infantry that, if you remember, were up here by the hedges. Well, unfortunately, this M5 Recce Stuart was on ambush and opened fire on me. And he basically destroyed the entire unit before I could get my shot off. So this barn now contains some dead Germans. So I never got the shot off on this squad. What else did I do? I did try to shoot at that infantry over here with this squad, which is basically was part of this squad. They have an MG42 as well. They could see these guys through the hedges and what was there. And they did fire at them. And I'm not sure what happened here, but whether it was effective or not. I don't think it was effective. I don't think it did anything. But the killer was this guy. He's up there with his MG42, manning it all by himself, so his firepower rating his rate of fire is reduced to half. But he did manage to use an open fire order. He fired on the sniper, killed him. He took out the sniper, just killed him. He was using aimed fire everywhere. And he also put around burst on this unit of infantry. If you remember in the previous turn, these infantry were pinned. So that's why I was rolling to kill these guys. And they were elite. But his fire was actually pretty effective. He killed a guy and forced a morale test. And unfortunately, the unit failed its morale test. Now, because they were elite, they can re-roll it. Their first roll was a 2. They re-rolled it. They got a 1. So they took the 1, and because they were already pinned, they basically decided, hey guys, we're out of here. We had enough. Too much firepower coming down on him. So his squad is gone. So he lost his sniper and his infantry squad in this one turn. In my case, I lost this unit up here, which was an MG42. Well, actually, it was a rifle team that had a Panzerfaust. Remember, they used it on this Stuart, but it was only 3 guys. They were under strength. But that's gone, so I lost that. So I took a battle raid encounter, and he took 2. And that was it. The only other thing that happened was my guys, the rest of my elite squad of Panzer Grenadiers, back here. This is an actual MG42 team, 3-man team. They went back here and they captured that objective in turn 1, I believe it was. Now they move back up, nothing else to shoot at, so they're done. And the only thing I have an ambush going into the next turn is this Stug. And if you remember, no more AP rounds. Not good. But yeah, he's got his 76 coming in, 2 recce units, one of which, the Jeep, is on reserve mode. He's got his FHQ here, minus their half-track, on reserve mode, or reserve move. It's basically kind of like ambush, except it's movement. And there's his other 75. Okay, folks, we'll see what happens. It doesn't look good. He's got his units in position to take out this farm area, which I was hoping to hold out longer with, but I've only got 4 guys holding out against an M20, a Sherman, an MG team 30 cal. His FHQ's coming up through the woods, going to be able to call down some fire. Well, he could call fire from any of his recce units. That's recce. His M20 over here is recce, so he's got a platoon officer here. He might actually have artillery capability as well, to spot, I mean. I'm not sure, I have to look that up, probably. So that's it. I'm getting kind of concerned. Is he going to make a move with my Stug on low ammo? Or is he going to keep on pushing towards the bridge while I'm under strength? I was hoping to hold him up more, but if he gets that little farm area right there, I'm in big trouble. The only other thing is this foot patrol in here of 3 guys, a recon unit for me. They do have a Panzerfaust, and he can tell because I have a figure actually armed with a Panzerfaust right there at the window. So I think that's why he's holding back. He's got no more infantry down here, really, so he's going to have to blast me out of that position. Should be interesting. Turn 4 is next. I don't get my reinforcements until turn 5. Okay, folks. Just finished turn 4. Not a heck of a lot happened. I think the Americans got a 4 for their orders. I don't remember. But one of the first things they did is this recce Stuart opened fire on my foot patrol that was up here. I think it was like 8 dice. He aimed shots, and he rolled 8 dice, and I made all the saves. But we became pinned. So my 2 guys in here are now pinned, unfortunately, and they're veterans. He moved up his platoon commander in the M4 Sherman here. Moved up, and reminiscent of the last game, he destroyed this unit behind the hedge line, or the barricades in this case. Just opened up with high explosive and machine guns and destroyed my little German hero there, man in the MG42. So they're gone. I took a counter, which I think was a 4. Yeah. What else did he do? He put his Sherman down here on ambush. And he did move up his 76 Sherman, as you could see on the other side of the hill. He come up around the hill and shot some high explosive rounds on my unit up here. Didn't do any damage. He made all my saves. I gotta love that hard cover. And that was about it for my turn. Well, for one thing, I pretty much didn't do anything. I just gave everything reaction fire or reaction move. These guys up here I put on reaction move because I'm anticipating during his turn, which is next, I'm going to move these guys, and I want to get them as close as I can, preferably in one of these buildings, close to that bridge, because otherwise he's going to capture that bridge, and I'm kind of afraid of that. So I'll see what happens with that. My Stug and my MG team back here behind this tree, they're both on ambush as well. Yeah, and he did actually move up his Jeep. I forgot that last turn. Let's see where he is. See if you can see it. It's right up here. That's what he did last turn at the end of my orders phase. So I'm thinking he's making a move on that woods there, or that objective. I don't know. But his 76 is on the move, that's for sure. Yeah, so turn 5 is coming up next. And I'm going to get my Panzer IV. I don't know if I can change this situation or not. If I lose this battle, I lose the campaign. So I'm like 5 points away from losing this game. And some of you might wonder why I didn't try and rally this unit that's pinned at the end of my turn, because I'm 5 points away from losing the battle. And with my Panzer IV coming in, I wasn't going to take the risk. So I'm going to try and hold that barn as long as I can with my 2 guys in that foot patrol. We're currently pinned. And if I could survive that, great. But I don't know. He's first in the next turn. It could decide the battle. So we'll see what he does. Okay, folks. That is turn 4. Okay, folks, just finished turn 5, and oh boy, is it getting close. Let's see. The Americans brought in his last remaining reserve, which was an empty half-track. He put him there beside the other one. So he didn't do anything with him. But what he did do, he got a little bold here. First thing he did was going to move his platoon commander up in this M4 Sherman up the road. And before he did his order, I had decided to use my infantry over here. If you remember, they were up in here. Now they're over here. They used their reaction move to move first. So they got to the position they're at right now, which is on the other side of that river, even with the penalties for crossing. And there they are. They got hard cover with that big boulder. So I don't know if you could see them there, but right up in here. Blink right there. So they're in a good position with their machine gun. Anyway, he continued up the road, and then he opened up with high explosive rounds and the coaxial machine gun, and he destroyed my foot patrol that was in this barn. So there goes my last Panzer Faust. They were pinned anyway, so didn't mean much. But yeah, I took a counter for that, and I am now currently 2 points away from losing the game. So amazing as that sounds, I did not lose the battle yet. I got 2 points left. So it's pretty risky right now. What else did he do? He hustled this M20 up the road. He also made a move with his 76 Sherman down here. He moved up closer to my Stug, and he took a shot at the Stug. Now, first of all, what happened was his M20 here. It was originally over here on the other side of this hedge. Right when it declared its move to get up this road, my Stug could spot him. So I attempted to shoot him with my ambush fire. And I only have 2 high explosive shells in the damn thing, so I crossed my fingers for that. So I put in 1 shot. I wasn't going to fire twice. But regardless, I failed to spot the tank, or the M20, and that was that. And I lost my ambush fire from my Stug. So he's no longer on ambush. And the M20 got to his position there. In the meantime, that 76 Sherman did finish its move. It moved up, then it opened fire on my Stug, and put down an AP shot, I believe, aimed, and managed to pin my Stug. So I think it was a glancing hit off my Stug. So that was the end of that. So my Stug is pinned. And that's the end of him. I don't think I could do anything more with him. I can't afford to take any rallies, and that would mean drawing a counter, which I don't want to do at this point. 2 points away from losing. So that's what he did. I don't know what he rolled for orders. It wasn't too much. For me, I rolled pretty good. I rolled I scored like a 5 or something. I was able to do something with just about everything. I basically brought on my reserves, which was the Panzer IV plus my FHQ in their half-track, which are now in this woods here. The headquarters are actually still in the half-track, and they're well out of sight inside the woods there. You can see them. Right there in the middle. Right there. So they're out of sight in the center of the woods holding on to an objective. I also pulled one of my squads back into the woods by them. And a machine gun unit, which is up there. I think you can see them in there somewhere. But they pulled back. My Stug couldn't do anything because he's pinned. And the infantry over here behind the rock, which were fired at before by the 75 Sherman, did open up with its machine guns on this advancing Sherman in hopes of pinning him. I know I needed a 6 to get it, but I tried it, used an open fire on him, and yeah, I failed. I didn't get it, so it was worth a shot. I don't know if that's going to be a mistake or not, because they did leave those infantry out in the open now. So his turn's next. So that's it. Oh yeah, one other thing is I did bring my Panzer IV in, trying to get a side shot on his Sherman on the road. You can see him right there. I brought him up, and I could not get on the side of that Sherman. But I was able to spot him, took the shot after moving forward, and I just basically missed. So that's that. And by the way, I still hold the bridge because of the fact I have those infantry up here behind the rock. That's why I moved them. So that was reaction move, folks. That helped me out in the last turn. Okay, folks, we got another turn coming. See what happens. That's the end of turn 6. Let's see what happened. Well, he rolled a 6 for his orders, +2. Gives him 8 orders for the turn. That was bad news for me. Wasn't good. But anyway, he started down here on the left with his 75 and his 76, both shooting at my Stug, trying to take him out, and neither one could do it. Yeah, he did actually move the 76 right up in this position here in the woods. Obviously couldn't cross the river, but he tried to get in a position to get a side shot on that Stug. Did not happen. My Stug, I believe, was pinned and low ammo and everything. He didn't know that, the low ammo part, but yeah, he tried to do it, tried to take him out, didn't happen. So it was kind of a slow start for him. Over here, though, is where everything was decided, as I knew it would. Everything was about this little farm area. If I could have held this for another turn, it might have been good for me, until I get my reinforcements, but I didn't. His Sherman, his platoon commander here, of the tank platoon, did open fire on this position over here, which had a small unit of an MG team, actually, 3 guys, and wiped them out. Primarily with its machine guns. The way this tank was set, these guys only had soft cover. But the only thing he could bring to bear on those guys without moving was his coaxial machine gun and high explosive round from his main gun, which he had fired. Took them out with machine guns only, really. They failed their saves, and that was the end of that. So that caused me to draw shit, which it was a 2. So my final battle rating was 19 out of 18. His was 13 out of 20. So I got my butt kicked. That's for damn sure. Couldn't do anything with my Panzer IV, as you can see. He did come on early and try and blast that tank, that Sherman in the side. Didn't happen. Yeah, and he did move up his M20 into that position there with a top speed move, so it couldn't fire. But it got in a nice position, set up for the next turn if it went that long. So yeah, basically what happened is he took this unit out. I take a battle rating counter. He also captured this objective, the bridge, because I had no defending units within 10 inches of it. And he had his tank, which was within 5 inches of it, so he can capture it, which he did at the end of his move. And that was that. And of course, my forward headquarters is still in his half track up there in the woods, along with the infantry. Yeah, it was pretty rough. I don't think I did anything to him except take out that one infantry squad and immobilized his half track. Other than that, he took out my Panzer Foot Patrol. He took out a squad worth of infantry. Yeah, all I had left was 2 MG teams, a Stug without any ammo, and my reinforcements of my forward headquarters and my Panzer IV tank. And that was it. So it was a really good game, very intense. I loved it. It was only 6 turns, which you got to expect that with a squad level game. They go pretty quick, which is nice. Highly recommend this set of rules, my friends. BattleGroup. It's very fun. It's easy to get into. You don't have to play it like every week to remember all the rules. It's something you could take a break from after a couple months and still just jump right into it real quick. Be using all the rules like for artillery and armor and infantry all in one go. Yeah, I'm losing my voice here. Been a long night. Okay, my friends, I hope you enjoyed this little battle report. Oh, and yes, by the way, this battle concluded our campaign, and the Germans lost. It was a 5-battle campaign. I won the first one, which was Recce Screen. I lost the next 3. So, I don't know. I don't know what I could have done better in this. I could blame a lot of people for choosing that edge over there, but I won't do that. I'm not that mean and cruel. But I would say everything hinged on this farm area. Right there. If I could have held on to that for another turn till I get my reinforcements up, I probably could have drove him back. I mean, my Panzer IV was on its way. He'd probably be further away from the village by then, by the time my guy got on there. And it would change the whole situation. And unfortunately, I didn't have no reinforcements outside of that tank to kind of strengthen this farmhouse. I almost did. I was moving my MG team over there to kind of support what was left in here, which was 2 guys from my Panzer Grenadier Foot Patrol. But I still lost the village, or the farm, so I don't know. I don't know. It was a very interesting battle. Very good. Okay, folks, I hope you enjoyed. Take a little look here at some of the carnage. Look at that Stug. There's the Stug right there. It's kind of blurry. Right down here, this guy's a hero. This guy is definitely a hero. He led the assault on that bridge almost single-handedly. And he won the day. Of course, 30 Cal team still sitting here. I think they fired once or twice. Empty half-tracks hidden in the woods. Another M20 over there on the left did nothing. A Jeep that's sitting there in the open. Yeah, that was a fun game. Okay, folks, I'll talk to you later. Have a good one.